Our nursery room tour is probably one of my most requested videos on Instagram. I will let you know where everything is from, but please don't forget that everything I mention or everything you see in this video will be listed in the description box below with links to where you can buy it yourself. I decided to have the cot going out into the room rather than being placed against the wall. I just think it gave the room a little bit more character because it looked quite simple. This lasted up until 9 months, when I'm now going to be moving it back against the wall so that she can have more space to play and crawl around. We chose the Bori Eaton cot bed. This was a very minimal design, but I wanted something that was quite square. The great thing about this cot bed is it also turns into a child's double bed, a sofa bed, and it has the panel for when they are learning to sleep in a single bed by themselves. So it's a cot that's going to last us through the years. Inside her cot lays the Sleepyhead Deluxe, where Pollyanna has slept from the very beginning, and she still sleeps in this now. Against the other two walls are her changing station and her shelves. Her 3 prints, which hang over her changing station, are animal themed and they're from Decino. I stuck to a black and white theme to match the room, and we went for a French Bulldog to match our little Frenchie Blue. I hung 2 mobiles from Scandi-born over her changing mat. I found that when she was newborn, these helped to distract her. Probably up until about 6 months it worked. Now she tries to grab them, so I'm going to have to rearrange this section too. Again, they're grey, but I added a little bit of pink with the raining rainbow. The chest of drawers was also from Bori, matching the cot. I really wanted a chest of drawer that had a changing mat that you could place inside. It also has a side section where I place lotions that I use quite a lot of the time, as well as wet wipes for when I'm changing. It has 3 drawers, which I try to keep as organised as possible. In the top drawer, I have used these square boxes that I got from Dunelm Mill. Each box has something different. So from left to right, we have a box for muslins, a box for her socks, a box which would normally have sun hats or accessories. It's now winter, so it's got her winter hats, it's got some bows. I've also got a box for tights where they're neatly rolled and in colour order. In the middle section, we've also got a box for wet wipes, cotton pads, and any other bits that we may need to use on her. And then the most important box, which I always make sure is filled, is the nappy box. The second drawer consists of her clothing. Now, when she was newborn, up until about 6 months, it had baby grows in size order. So I would have 0 to 3, 3 to 6, and she would also have a few 6 to 9 months. Now it's organised by baby grows, leggings, tops and vests with a few shoes, just because most of her clothes hang up on a clothing rail. The last drawer, so it's mainly sleeping bags, lots of bits that we don't really use. The shelves are still my favourite thing in her room, and I'm constantly rearranging them and making them look different. The shelves we got from a local DIY store called Bunnings, but the actual brackets are from Trover, and they were quite pricey considering they were just brackets, but I really had these styles in mind. On the top shelf is some photo frames and some christening gifts. We still need to print out some photos to fill them. On the second shelf, I've put this teddy bear basket, which came as a pack of 3 from Next. I've placed a Jellycat bunny inside. There's a pair of slippers from M&S. The frame was a christening present, and then I've just put some of my favourite books out on show. I found the driftwood idea from Pinterest, but I wanted to source it locally, so we found this piece of driftwood on a local beach while we was out on a walk. I then attached it to the brackets using string so that it hung underneath the shelves. I tend to only hang about 4 items of clothing on this rail. It's really just for decoration. Underneath, we've got a fake sheepskin rug in white, just to lift up the greyness from the room. It was important for me to have a chair in this room, and I wanted something that was quite standout-ish. This was an armchair from Debenhams in a pink soft velvet. Next to the chair is one of the other Next baskets, and this is a smaller version, and we just put some teddies in this one. This beautiful personalised print with the meaning of Pollyanna is from Walter and May. We brought back the fairy lights from Thailand, but now you can find them almost anywhere. Next to her cot, I placed 2 baskets, both from Wayfair. One has toys in, and the other one I used to put blankets in, but I roll them up and squeeze them all in there. Over her cot, we have hung a grey canapé from Scandi-born. This is a real big hit on Instagram. People seem to love it. Underneath, I have added some wired fairy lights wrapped all around the canopy so that when they're on, they can be seen from the outside of the cot too. Inside the cot, I've added 2 more cushions, both in pink to give the room some more colour, and they're both in different textures too. And finally, hanging on the back of her door is her personalised robe, which I will leave a link to down below too.